Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Pivy Does It All. Sorry, I'm working from behind my tripod, so if I bump the camera a couple times, I apologize. I wanted to do this to do a Knitting 101 series. So the first step of the series is casting on. To cast on, I'm going to be using this Bernat Softy Chunky. This is by Yarnspirations. And let me tell you a little bit about this yarn. The color is dark green. It is a super bulky weight, size 6, so we can see that reading from the left to the right. So that means that this is a thick yarn, and we can see that, and I thought it would show up well in the tutorial. It tells you what size knitting needle and what size crochet hook would be best for this yarn. So it recommends a US 11 or an 8mm knitting hook, knitting needle. Sorry, I'm a crocheter at heart, so everything's a hook. Or a 8mm US 11 crochet hook. And then it tells you care instructions right here. It is made of 100% acrylic. Its net weight is 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, and that will give you 108 yards. So now that we know that we're going to be using this yarn and we have the recommended needle size, I'm going to show you some different needles. So these are anodized metal knitting needles. You can see that they've definitely seen some love. They're pointy, they're long. They have a stopper at the end to keep your work on the needle. And how you would use these is you would do all of your work on moving to one needle. So we always move kind of like left to right with knitting. So we would have everything on our right needle, and then we would switch needles and we'd start working left to right again, and we'd move all the way over to this needle right here. So same principle, but looks a little different. They might look a little intimidating. These are circular needles, so they're the same things. They're just connected with a wire or rope, in this case a plastic tube. And I would recommend these for beginners. So these are bamboo, and I got a pack for, I want to say, $12 to $15 of all different size knitting needles, and I got them off of Amazon and found them to be very affordable. And it's great, so if you are using a size 6 weight or a size smaller, or maybe even something a little larger that requires a larger needle, you can use what comes in these. And they don't have as much slip, so I find that you don't drop your stitches as much, which I think is important for a beginner, because that's the easiest thing to do, is drop a stitch. So without further ado, now that we know a little bit about knitting needles, let's go into casting on.